in the land of the cold and the brave, down at Langney Point. Let's have a crack at the beach. Another window in the weather, between two big storms. We've got Storm Dennis coming, but at the moment it's actually quite nice, quite calm. The wind, what wind there is coming off the land. I think we're going to have quite a good night. Okay, so we're down the beach and we're just rigging up, and I'm going to use what I'm going to call the fish hunter rig, because that's what the guy on the YouTube channel says he's calling it. I'm sure it has other names, but it's a fish hunter rig with some variations, because I'm actually using the Trident tackle pulleys, etc. on it, but it's fundamentally the same idea. The one point that he doesn't make in his video, and I would just like to make an issue on it, is that the actual final hook length, which is the bit that connects from this into the bait link and is what holds it all together, needs to be on a strong piece of line. The line has got to be the same breaking strain as the rest of the rig. You can't have it on a fine line. But essentially, you've got, you see this, you've got your weight on a pulley, you've got your main line on a pulley, you've got this which will pull down and clip into this once this is clipped in place, and we'll do that in a minute and you see what I'm talking about. And you've got a nice big slack piece of line, so you can have a nice long flowing trace. I'll just stop the camera a second while I get the hook link and put that on there. Right, so here's the final hook link. It's a circle hook. It's got a couple of sand eels on there, wrapped up not very tidily, I'm afraid, with a bit of bait elastic. It's fluorocarbon, so it should be virtually invisible in the water, but it's 50-pound fluorocarbon because it needs to take the weight of the cast. Otherwise, you're just going to be forever bringing in rigs without any hooks on. That snaps into place like that. This clips into the bait clip to the Trident tackle bait clip. So it's nicely tightly in place, but that will release as soon as it hits the water, because the water pressure as it hits the water will release that. And then you have this clip here which this pulleys down into and just clips into place, so it keeps it nice and neat and short for the cast, but it's got a lot of slack line there, so that once it frees itself off, you've got a nice long flowing trace. So you've got all this here, and I'm led to believe, this is the first time I've tried this rig, that doesn't tangle, that will just flow free. So that's what we're fishing with, that's the plan. We'll call it the fish hunter rig with a Trident variation, and there we go. Let's get that out in the water. Right, a bit more of a breeze down here the sea. I think it's still got a little bit of ebb to go, probably just about slack water now. First cast of the night. What could go wrong? Off the ground. I feel like it went out quite well. Right, well, just about to get a second rod in, and already Chris down the way there's had his first ray of the night, so it's a good portent for the night. My second bait is going to be a nice white strip of mackerel, and I'm going to town on this. It's going to be soaked in Solent sea goo, something I've never tried before, but with the water colour the way it's going to be today after all these storms, scent is going to be really important. So we'll get some of that liberally into there, and I've also, when the fish has tracked down the scent, I'm going to put a couple of moon glows on there just to help them zoom in on the bait, and again using the fish hunter rig, nice long flowing trace. So let's get that set up and go. Put baits in once and check them untouched. hey, it's early and the tide hasn't really started to run yet. What time is it? It is 20 to 9. So should start seeing some movement soon. Well, Chris down the way there has had one ray, as far as I'm aware. I also believe they've had a channel between them, but don't really want to know about that. But nice ray. But yep, early days. Got good baits, got good distance, perfect night. So I'm quietly confident of at least not having a blank. Anyway, as I've said, I'm down here with Jace and Chris. Here's Jason.
Hello.
Oh yeah. He's doing as well as I am tonight, which is okay, but not great.
We're trying.
We're trying, but it's only early and the tide hasn't really started running yet. Chris down the end there had a ray within about 5 minutes of being here, which we thought was a portend of a great night and the sign of a class fisherman, but I'm now starting to think it was a fluke. Or I might be uncharitable, I don't know. But it's a beautiful night, and to be quite honest with you, I can't see us getting fishing at all again this week. So we've managed to jump into a little window in the weather again. You can't see it on the camera, but it's a starry night. But actually, it's not that cold. Not that cold at all. Yeah, that's perfect. And the wind is coming literally from that direction, which is off the land. So to the right of Eastbourne. So we're well sheltered here. I think if we'd gone to Seaford tonight, it would have been lumpy as hell. Right, I'm going to go and try my new invention now, which is my rocket stove. It might work, it might not work. We will find out. Just like everything else I do nowadays, it's something I learnt on YouTube, and we'll have a look at that and see if we can't cook ourselves some beans and sausages and a cup of tea, because a nice hot cup of tea will go down really well at this time. So I'll switch cameras to do that. Right, well, not a lot happening on the fishing front at the moment. Both my baits came in untouched just now. So whilst the tide is still not flooding up the beach, I'm going to have a go cooking my dinner on my newly made rocket stove. You can see it's made out of a bit of duck pipe, cut some slots in the bottom there so the air gets sucked in through the bottom, and then there's a tin inside which has got some dried kindling inside there, which is going to be the fuel. I'm going to be honest now, I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to use firelighters to get this started, as it's the first time I've tried it, but we'll see if it works or not. So I'm tucked in here behind the groin, so I'm out of the wind, nicely out of the wind. Get nice stable base for it, and then we'll get it lit. So just turn the camera off for a second. Somehow I managed to lose my matches and the firelighters, but I did have a backup. So, and I managed to borrow a lighter from somebody. So we've got fire, or as they say in Australia, we got fire, baby. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. I mean, the principle of it is the whole thing acts like a chimney. So you get a vertical flow of air coming up through, like a through draft, and it burns hot and very clean. It's not just burning very clean at the moment because it's still got firelighters going on it, but we'll see. Leave that to develop for a bit. Got a bit of wood on the top of it there, which hopefully is going to light and drop down hot coals into the main body of the heat there. And then once that's going, we'll get a kettle on top of it, have a brew. Bob's your mother's brother. Looks quite good at the moment. Now it goes against the grain because I've always learned that you should light a fire from the bottom. But what I watched a guy in the States doing on YouTube the other day was he lit it from the top, and the principle being is because the air is being drawn up from the bottom, it burns downwards, which means that you get a more intense and a longer burn. So again, let's see if that works. So at the moment, I know that that's mostly firelighters that are going. I think we'll know once the black sooty smoke is burning off. Because that's the other thing about it, is it burns a lot of the smoke off as well, because of the way it is. So we'll leave that going, and we'll come back to it in a minute. Boiling kettle. Look at the heat down in there, all those embers and coals. Amazing. I'll keep on putting little bits of wood in and keep it going, see how long I can keep it going. And maybe I'll get some beans going on the go in a bit. Okay, so second edition, a bit more wood in there, sausage and beans, a wood light in there gradually. I think if I put this on top of it will help with that. Draw the fire. Keep that going, chiseling away, give it a stir every so often, and I reckon I'm going to have a nice tin of hot beans and sausages in a minute. We'll find out. Well, there we go, here's me sausage and beans, nicely done, burnt on the bottom of the pan a bit, but hey, I think with these sorting out rods, definitely cooked. Yes, definitely cooked. Well, we haven't blanked. We haven't blanked, but the bait is as big as the fish. We've saved the blank. A very small whiting. Pity I'm not doing a catch and cook tonight, isn't it, really? Yeah, I was loath to declare what the target species was tonight, because I figured that whatever I said, we'd end up catching some of these fellas. And sure enough, there he is, water whiting. And as I say, the bait is nearly as big as the fish. Let's put him back while he's still alive. Nice set of nostrils on him. Whoa! Bit of free bait down here, look at this. Look at that, big gaper clam. Still just about alive. Tell you what, as a result of those storms we've been having, I think he might end up on my hook, because there are fish here, because we improved it, but there's also an awful lot of fresh bait down there, which they're feeding on. So, yeah, big old gaper clam there. He's obviously got washed out of a bed by the storm. We'll crack him open and we'll work out a way of putting him on the hook. So he's still got a little bit of life in him, but not a great deal. Got to get this bait out. Let's see how Jason's doing. Right, yeah. Well, at least I'm not blanked. Well, Jason isn't blanked either, so fantastic. So none of us are blank, which is a result. Saved the blank. Bit envious of his thornback, but hey, that's the way it goes. But it's still early yet. Not sure how long I'm going to fish it. Still enjoying myself. Haven't had to move yet. I would imagine the tide will start coming in quite fast soon. But yeah. Well done, Jace.
Yep.
Saved the blank.
Saved the blank.
A bullace or a dogfish? Yeah, Jace. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's not a bullace actually. It's the nostrils is where these flaps here, the way you tell the difference. But oh yeah, I think it is a doggy. Oh, it's a male anyway. Sorry?
Doggies and whiting, didn't you? Catch them all the time.
Not tonight, we ain't.
No?
No, it's very quiet.
Yeah, you got Ray in there, thornback Ray, didn't you?
The other lad did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Well, I need to get a pair of pliers and get out. Oh, yes, it is gorgeous. Right, well, it's not been a blank. We've had a few. Dogfish and a channel whiting. Jason's been having pin whiting, and of course Cushie's lovely thornback right at the start of the session. But yeah, not exactly throwing themselves on the hooks. Fact is, after those storms, there is so much natural food in the water. Just walking along the beach here, I'm picking up huge gaper clams that have obviously been scoured out by the storm. So I imagine that down just off the beach here, there are so much shellfish that have been smashed up by the storm that I would imagine that the fish are feeding a gorging on that. So you know, the fish that are here, they're very few and far between. I mean, the dogfish I had was quite a nice fish. For a moment I thought it might have been a hound, but it wasn't. Just a big dogfish. Anyway, so we'll keep on going. We give him another half an hour, and then we're going to give it knock it on the head. I think. Just looking over there, you can see the rods, and behind the rods you can see a beautiful moon. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but when that first rose it was blood red. But fantastic night, really a great window in the weather. The next storm is due to come crashing in tomorrow, and we're going to have strong wind over the weekend, so we won't be any fishing I don't think. So we're lucky to have got this in. The forecast is it's going to drop away to next to nothing for the next couple of hours, and then start picking up again. I've got a fence to fix from the last one. So anyway, very good. Nice out, nice night out. Good company, albeit they're the other side of this drawing, so don't you often have to climb up and say hello. Yeah, good night. And again, you won't see it on the camera, but it's a starry night, and you think in February starry nights means really, really cold, but it isn't that cold. It really isn't. So, keep on fishing. If I catch anything more, we'll put it back on camera. Other than that, I'm going to be signing off now. Now guys, if you're liking what you're seeing on these videos, please can you press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. It just means that YouTube eventually will start taking notice of me, and I get better. I get a lot of benefits from that. The other thing, of course, is that both Jason and I are passionate about is use your local tackle shops. You've seen my videos, you've seen Jason's videos about that. You really do need to get into these tackle shops and start buying from them. You know, even if it costs you a little bit more than buying online, because at the end of the day, it's not just the tackle; it's the knowledge, it's the chat, it's the the stuff that you learn from going in those tackle shops. So please get down your local tackle shop, reacquaint yourself with them if you don't know who they are, and start using them. It's an amazing service, which, trust me, once they've gone, they've gone. They won't come back. Okay, catch you later.